Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Uh, we're going to have a big celebration at my house in a little bit for Barbara. Uh, the children are going to be coming by, and we'll have a good Mother's Day event for us. That's always a fun time. Have the family nearby. I always enjoy that. I enjoy having my son and my daughter and all. Hey, Zach, how are you? Hey, Jamie. Yeah. How is it down under there, Zach? Hey, Joey. Glad to see you could make it. Made it on time this week, Joey. yeah. Yeah. Glad to see everybody jump in there. Yeah, well, that's good. Hope my signal's coming good down under there, Zach. Hope it's skipping across the ocean there pretty good. Yeah, Barbara is going to have a happy Mother's Day, I think. What's that? Victory Outdoor Services drop the new video every Sunday before you go live. Well, that's great. I don't know Victory Outdoor Services. I'm not familiar with that one. Loud and clear, Em. Oh, that's great. Coming across the pond without any problem. Yeah, the big pond, or I guess from where I'm at, several big ponds. Depends on which. I don't know. I don't even know which way. We're probably exactly all the way around the earth from Australia because we're North Carolina as we're on the East Coast. So we would about be probably almost exactly. I don't have. What time is it? What time is it in Australia right now, Zach? And that'll kind of give me an indication because it's 9 o'clock here. Is it 9 o'clock at night up there now? Hey, Tim, glad to see you. Hadn't seen you in here. I'm glad you got the computers up and going. 11 p.m. Sunday night. Oh, good gracious! So um, you're almost exactly halfway around uh, the Earth for us because it's 9 o'clock in the morning here. So that would be almost halfway. Close about as close as halfway around as you can get, almost. Yeah, that's something. It always intrigues me about that. You have to visualize in your mind the differences. I know when I was traveling and on the West Coast and calling back home, it always felt strange, you know, uh, with the time change, just in the United States and everything, knowing that my family you know, would be in a different time zone from me. Hey, Chris, how are you? I hope you and the missus are having a good Mother's Day today out there in windy Kansas. Have you ever gotten your rain that you needed? I've seen where a lot of storms have come through Kansas and all around. I hope you hadn't gotten any storms that have been destructive. Uh, but I noticed you've been staying busy and gotten dangerous out there. I had to caution Chris. He jumped on an underpowered, or I guess undersized tow motor and was unloading some stuff and flipped it over. Thank goodness he didn't get hurt. I told him about an incident of a friend of mine that I worked with at Carolina Freight. Uh, he was a tow motor repairman, and he was doing something with one of them and flipped it over on himself. I think he had it on a chain fall, or I don't remember the exact situation, but he flipped the tow motor over on top of himself. And they called 911, got the rescue squad out there, he was doing fine. It looked like he was laying underneath it. He was talking and joking with everybody. Didn't seem to be, I mean, he was in pain, but he wasn't that bad. But as soon as they lifted the tow motor off of him, the blood rushed to his heart and killed him. I mean, that's how, I mean, the trauma, they said the trauma of that was what killed him. And, you know, it's something. So you got to be careful, and you don't realize how your body's going to react to an accident like that. So it can be tough. But I had to fuss at Chris like a father about be careful out there, son. You know, you're going to get hurt with that kind of stuff. And you know, and had I not seen that tragedy firsthand, it'd been different. But I mean, I saw that firsthand of what it could do to somebody. And like I said, I knew the guy pretty well. He had a son a little bit younger than me. He was probably 10, 15 years older than me and had a son about 10 years younger than me. And well, I mean, it was tragic. He was a nice guy, always a jovial guy and everything, nice to talk to. It was tough. Oh, you got some more rain last night, Taylor? Okay. Yeah. Well, we hadn't. Yeah, we hadn't had as much this week. We're hopefully I won't because we've got a lot of hay to get up. We got our pasture is it's the grass is up that high, and I need to get it mowed and everything, and that's what I'm hoping for. We can get. Uh, I've got a boy that mows the pasture for me. I give him the hay, and we keep the pasture mowed and everything. We got about 25 acres out here, I think. 25, 30 acres of pasture. And I like to keep it mowed and looking good. And I've got timber that I'm gonna be cutting off. I'm trying to hurry up and get him out here for the hay because I'm gonna ruin part of the grass going back and forth for my timber. We're gonna cut off about 15 acres of timber, and I need to do that. And these timber guys, they are not easy on the they're not easy on the property. They they do what they have to do to get in and out, and that's about it. They're not going to respect your property as much as you'd like them to, and I'm afraid they'll rut it out and a few things like that. Yeah, it, yeah, they'll make a rut or two, that's for sure. Yeah, Walter's talking about an accident too. I mean, you got to watch. I tell you, this equipment. I was like I said, I got my little tool cat stuck the other day, and I know you can't see it on the video as much, but Jim was trying to pull me out, and as he was pulling, it was pulling too much to the right, and it got both wheels on the left side up off the ground, and I don't I don't particularly like that. We try to get whatever it'll get him for the hay about at least two, three, about three times if we can. I'm hoping we can get three cuttings. He fertilized it pretty good a couple of months ago, and it's really shot up there. We got a lot of grass. It's like I say, it's waist high or better. I took my truck out there to haul some trash off on the trash pile and had to go through it. And gosh, it was up over my hood on my truck on my Dodge Dually. So it's up pretty high. And we're hoping to get the most yield out of it that we can. We'll see. I mean, uh, I don't know how many bales. Well, it's round bales. I don't know how many he'll get this year, but I hope he gets a good many. And he's got a horse farm. He boards a lot of horses, so they eat a lot of hay. So we need to get a good yield if we can. Oh, that Sprite tasted good. Yeah. What's on everybody's mind this morning? Anything new from anybody out there? We've just been working away here, doing a lot of things for my grandson's graduation. Real proud of him this past week. He got a 4-year scholarship to NC State. It wasn't a full scholarship, but he got $5,000 a year for 4 years from a lithium company, a lithium mining company that's just started giving out scholarships up here for what they call STEM research students. And because he's going to be an engineer, that works in that category. And he was one of 3 people in the state of North Carolina to get this scholarship. So we're real proud of him. He's done real well. He's in the top 10 in his class, and he's never made a B in his life. He's been a straight A student from kindergarten all the way through the 12th grade. Um, I told him that's a little bit better than I did. Maybe not a lot, but yeah, that's my grandson Michael. He's named after me and his other granddad. His name's Michael Lee Jones. Mine's Michael Stephen, and he's named after me, Michael, and his other granddad was Jimmy Lee. So we named him Michael Lee. They named him Michael Lee, and you know we're real proud of him. He's been a good boy. He plays sports, and he was captain of the soccer team this year. They had a good year. I think they ended up third in the conference, and did real well. He was the highest scorer on the team. He scored about 20 goals, I think, for the year. And he really likes soccer. He's even playing travel ball right now, whereas most guys that when they're a senior drop off of that. But he decided to go ahead and play travel ball one more year, and he's real happy with that. And I went yesterday to watch him play, and he scored yesterday too. He scored the last goal, and I'm real tickled to watch him play and everything, and real happy with what he's become and all that sort of stuff. And those of you that are friends with me on Facebook, you've seen the post I put up on Facebook about my grandson, my son, and my grandson, and all the pictures we've had. So y'all have probably seen those pictures on Facebook. Uh, and like I said, we're real proud of him. It's a feat that not every uh, person can accomplish, and I'm proud that he's followed through. That's the main thing. Have yourself a goal and follow through, and he's done that so far, and I'm real proud of that situation. And as you can tell, I'm a proud grandpa. I'm gonna sit here and brag. I could brag all day, but I better not. Y'all might get a little bit bored with that. But it is what it is. But I hope everybody else is doing fine. I hope everybody's going out to see their mother if they still have a mother. My mother passed away uh, about 5 years ago. I only have one. That is my one and only grandchild, Taylor. Uh, my son and daughter-in-law only wanted one, and my daughter has never been married, and she has none. And so we only have the one grandchild. So you can imagine how proud I am of him and how spoiled he is. That's uh, so it's he's our world, I guess you might say, when it comes to grandchildren. I mean, I I see a lot of my friends that have 5 and 6, 7, 8 grandchildren, and I'm sort of jealous of that in a way. And but in some ways, I'm happy just with one. Uh, you you in a way, I would have loved to had multiple grandchildren, but you know it wasn't to be. So you take what you can. Some people have none. So I am fortunate to have the one grandchild, and he's so far, knock on wood, he's been a good boy, and of course that makes me put all my attention, good and bad, toward him. So we're pretty hands-on grandparents. I uh, after well we kept him every afternoon after he got out of nursery school and grade school and everything. He always came home to us, and we had him to do his homework. And of course, my wife uh, wanted him to take piano, so he took piano lessons growing up too, and he did that for a few years until the piano teacher retired. And my wife knows piano, but she didn't want to try to be his teacher and his grandmother at the same time. So that was her decision to do that. But he did that, and he was in the band when he was in junior high. But when he got in high school, he did. He wanted to concentrate on his engineering. Uh, the school he went to is number one school in the state of North Carolina. It's a real good school. It's Highland Tech, as the name of it, Highland Technical Institute, Highland Tech, uh, Highland School of Technology is what the proper name is, uh, in Gastonia, North Carolina. It's rated, in some publications it's rated either one or two. It depends on how the ratings are, but we're real proud of it because, like I said, he's going to be a mechanical engineer. That's his goal, is to go to NC State and mechanical engineering. So it was a real good prep, preparatory school for him, so he could have the calculus and uh, all the engineering classes and everything else to give him a little boost over and above what he would have had at just a regular high school, which is what we have at our local high school here. So it's pretty good. Yeah. Uh, well, when he graduates from college, this is the gift he wants from when I pass on. I don't know if y'all see my Model A back there. Yeah, when I got this several years ago, and I took him a ride in it, and he loved the sound of the engine because it's got a 327 in it, and it's got a nice little cam rumble and everything. The first thing he told me was, he said, "Papa, when you die, can I have this car?" And I go, "Well, I would like to enjoy it myself a little bit." And he said, "I hope you're not trying to push me in my grave too soon." And I said, "But I get what you're saying." I said, "But that's up to your grandmother." I said, that's fairly expensive little car. So that's up to her. I don't know if she wants to sell it or give it to you. I said, "We'll see." But I said, "I hope you're a lot older when you get it." And but he'll probably get it. That's probably going to be his one of his gifts uh, uh, to him when I'm gone. And like I said, I hope it's a lot of years before the family has to give that away to him. But we'll see. You know, I'm planning on doing YouTube for a lot longer, so don't anybody kill me off too soon. I mean, that would be a shame for me. Oh, 10 grandkids. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like that too. And on my uh, mother's side, there's about, gosh, well, she had three sisters, and there are, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, nine, four, nine, 10. There's 10 or 11 grandchildren in that family too. I had to count on my toes a little bit there to see how many. I think we got 10. Of course, we've already lost two of the grandchildren out of that our family. In other words, my cousins. Well, my youngest brother, passed away, and then one of my first cousins has passed away too. So we're getting smaller as it goes, and we're down to just one. I have one uncle in both of all my family and Barbara's family combined. We just have one uncle left, and that's what it gets. As you get older, that's what happens. So you lose them all, and you start losing, like I say, aunts and uncles and grandparents and parents and cousins. It's a crying shame, but it happens. It happens. Well, I hope I'm not going anyplace, Jamie. My plan is to survive. I can tell you that. I'm still trying to get more and more active. Uh, Barbara keeps me pretty busy. We get out and work in the yard, and we work, you know, as much as we can. Yeah, yeah. Everybody, give me a smash that thumbs up. That helps the old channel here a little bit, and give me the analytics that help grow the channel. My channel is sort of flat right now as far as subscribers and everything. Uh, I need to boost up, and I don't promote it like a lot of channels. I kind of just do what happens out there. I put out my shows, and I try to be as natural as I can. I try to talk about topics that hopefully people want to hear, and you get what you get from me. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't hold anything back. I don't try to get. I don't try to get too controversial. I mean, sometimes the old political scene will aggravate you and make you a little more controversial. I mean, stupidity just drives me crazy within the government and everything else. So, I get. Yeah, I wish I could change some things. I don't know if I would want to run the government. I would have to clean house up there, like a lot of people would want to do. I mean, if anybody's ever been to Washington D.C., I mean, you can just see the hierarchy. Uh, it's built in so much. I mean, even though you might come in as president, all the people underneath you that have been well established, they're going to tell you what to do, not the other way around. And that's what we got a puppet up there right now as a president. I mean, who can look at Biden and think that he's actually making a decision? I mean, he's being told. He's gotten cue cards. He's barely can get through the day. It looks like. I mean, it is a pathetic situation that the Democrats are satisfied to have a puppet in the White House, not the warehouse. Might as well be a warehouse. But it's pathetic that we don't have a ruler, somebody who can actually take a stand instead of all these yes people telling Biden what to do and all these. I don't know. We're being ruled by committee right now. We don't have a president. I would say. I mean, he anybody that can't take any oral argument or questions. I mean, that their mental capacity is not there. I mean, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. You can look at our president and tell that he is not of sound mind for sure. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the thumbs up. Well, I would hope we could get somebody like DeSantis, but as it stands right now, we got Trump that's killing the polls right now, and that thing that CNN did the other night didn't do anything but help Trump. I think. I mean, they had that town hall, and he was in true form the other night. Anybody that saw Trump, and then CNN got berated because everybody said, "Well, why'd you even give him a platform? Why'd you let him talk?" And they did it for ratings, is what they did. I mean, their ratings was best thing they'd had all week because of that, and it's something. And we here we got all the political scene out there with Tucker Carlson. We'll see what happens with Fox News News Nation and all these other organizations, these conservative uh, news outlets, see what they can do. I mean, the problem we've got is we're tilted way too much on the liberal press and the liberal media. I mean, it used to be when I grew up, you couldn't tell what somebody's political slant was, whether it was right or left. But now it's so obvious. I mean, it's pathetic. It is so obvious that the the mainstream media is leaning to is left. They're to the left, and they don't even want to report anything that's to the right at all. I mean, it used to be that you felt like you get maybe a little fair shake if you were a conservative, but you don't get a fair shake at all now. It is really tilted to the left. But some of them, I think, are getting aggravated with it. I think if we could get back to the center a little bit, I think it would be good. But oh man, we need to get rid of this woke society we got. And and the Anheuser Busch thing is probably the best thing that's happened as far as conservative and liberals and everything. I think that boycott of that and people not drinking Bud Light or Budweiser products, I think that's fantastic. I think that's showing the old saying, like they say, go woke, go broke. I mean, I'm not expecting Anheuser-Busch to go broke, but if it puts a hurt on them for those type actions, so be it. Let the public know that we're not, excuse me, guys. Got a little choked there. I've been running off the mouth too much there and got choked. Well, I know it. It's been a boycott everywhere, Taylor. I mean, you know, corporations should understand that, sell us a product. We don't need your ideology. We need your product. And if you're going to try to pump your ideology, we're going to tell you what we think about it. So that's what I think. Oh, I know it. I know it. I know it in Massachusetts. Man, I can imagine. I don't. I don't envy you at all as far as being overwhelmed by the liberals up there. I mean, that's always Massachusetts has always been a very ultra liberal state. I mean, the Kennedys were from there and everything. And well, what do you think about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. running? Do you think he'll make any inroads? I mean, he's a very smart man, and it's just hard to hear him talk. He's got that problem with his vocal cords, and it's just very irritating to listen to him talk. Yeah, I know it, and that's the way it was for us too. We still watch the five. I like the five, but the rest of them I don't watch as much, if any. And it really hurt Hannity. He was the follower up to Tucker, and his show has dipped a bunch because he didn't have the strong lead in that he used to have. And I mean, that was Tucker. Tucker was a lot more force than a lot of people realize. And because I liked him because he shot it straight. He didn't sugarcoat it for the left or the right. I mean, if he saw the right doing something wrong, he'd fuss at them too. And I like that about him. Yeah, yeah, I like Dana. Dana Perino is good, and I like Judge Janine too. She's strong. I mean, she's sort of like a Judge Judy to me. I like her attitude toward the law. I mean, she talks the law. She doesn't talk. I mean, she talks politics too, but she can keep them straight on the law. And being a former prosecutor and judge and everything, she's a smart lady, and I admire her for that. And I even I like Harold Ford on there too. He's a liberal, but he comes off Harold Ford Jr., and he's a former congressman. Of course, he's like a second generation. His dad was too. He's from Memphis, Tennessee, and he's a Southern liberal, which to me, some of those are a little more conservative leaning type people. And Harold Ford seems to be that way too. I like him. Uh, I don't. There's that girl I can't think of her name. She's got a real scratchy voice. I can't stand to listen to her talk. It's just irritating. But it's interesting. Yeah, I like Lou Dobbs too. I hate that they canned Lou Dobbs. I mean, I like to see him have a platform. Lou Dobbs he'd lay it to him. He'd lay it to him, and I liked Lou Dobbs, and I and like I say, and Tucker. I mean, Tucker's going to come out fine though. I mean, he's friends with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk has given him a lot of reign on Twitter, and he's put a lot of his stuff out on Twitter, and it's gotten millions of hits. I think the first one he put out there got like 70 million views. I mean, that was pretty doggone strong, and that's getting your message across when you get 70 million people click on it, and that's he's going to come off on a different platform. I hate that he's not going to be on a cable network, but he may bounce back. You never know on something like that. But Fox is going to be bleeding, but they're going to be a little bit like Anheuser Busch. They're going to be bleeding because of their crazy decision. I have to look down here. Let me pull my computer. My old eyes, I got my computer a little bit too far away. My laptop, I got to pull it up here a little bit closer so I can read faster and quicker. Yeah, because everybody's putting out the long paragraphs here, and I've got a small screen. I got a little small, like a 12-inch laptop here, and the screen with these old eyes is not the best sometimes. So I'm trying to read everybody's. It's hard sometimes. Hey, Jonathan, I hadn't seen you in here. Well, I'm glad you made it to the live stream also. Yeah, I get a lot of people that get the other videos, and then I tell them about the live stream, and then 9 o'clock on Sunday morning sometimes is not suiting people, and this being Mother's Day too, it's going to be a different crowd and different. You never know who's going to be able to pop in and see this old guy running his mouth here. So I appreciate everybody that does stop in and and talks to me and chats with me. And I try to, like I said, I had my Jim that works for me. He's going, man, you keep looking down, looking up, looking down. I said, well, I'm trying to read that screen, Jim. I need to enlarge it and put a bigger screen right in front of me so I can read the comments. When you get my age, your vision is not the best. As I wear the glasses and everything, but still, small print is hard to read sometimes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They hang on to the morning crowd. The morning, uh, not Peter Ducey. Is it Peter Ducey? No, that's his father. What I forget which one's which. Anyway, the Ducey guy, and then yeah, they've changed out they've got the Earnhardt girl, and then uh, what's the other guy's name? Anyway, they got a pretty good crew in the morning. I watch them occasionally. I don't seem to. I very rarely get up early in the morning and watch TV. I just don't want to do that. I'll get on the computer and read the news on the computer and that sort of stuff. But I don't like to watch TV news unless I read something that I want to see the video of, and then I'll flip it back and forth. But usually I grab the news off of YouTube or Facebook or then my local news, and then I don't read Twitter much. I've got a Twitter account, but I don't read it as much. I mean, there's just a lot of blow on that I don't care for. Hey James, how are you? Amelia Earnhardt, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. She's dating Sean Hannity. Yeah, I saw that. Well, that's good. I'm glad everybody's doing good, James. Yeah, I've been trying to recognize everybody. I think I hope I've recognized most everybody that's popped in here and chatted a little bit. Tim, where are you back? Are you back on the United States, or are you still over in Italy? I know I chatted with you a couple of weeks ago. Oh, me. But today is, like I said, today's a nice day to celebrate all the mothers out there. Barbara lost her mother about 2 years ago. About this time of the year, it was in uh, April of 21 is when Barbara's mother passed away, and then my mother passed away uh, about 3 or 4 years before that. My mother's been gone. She was 89, almost 90. She would have, if she had lived about another month, she would have been 90. And she was born in 28. I'm over here trying to do the math. Uh, 28. Yeah, yeah, she would have been 95, I think, this year. So my mother passed away about 5 years ago. And so with Barbara and I we've lost both our parents. And it's sort of strange. Both our fathers passed away in the 80s, in the 1980s. Hers in 87, mine 89. And then our mothers lived almost 25 or 30 years longer. And that's what happened with both our mothers. They lived uh, single for 25 or 30 years. But that's sort of the way it is in America. The women outlive the men, 15 or 20 years. That's what I've told Barbara. She'll probably outlive me through her life history and everything. Her mother and her grandparents and her granddad lived to 94, I think, and then her grandmother about 90, and then her mother 92, and uh, it. I told Barbara, I said, well, you probably got another 25 years. I'm lucky if I got another 25 days. I mean, I've already exceeded what my parents or what my dad passed away at 65, and here I am 72. So my expiration date could be any time. And like I said, I lost my younger brother. He was 67 when he passed away just a little over a year ago. And then my oldest brother will be 76 in June. I'll be 72. The middle brother, he just turned 74. So we're all hanging in there. We're all hanging in there trying to do our best. But as we age, and we are what we are. And I'm still trying to get around. Like I said, I try my best to get around and do things. These cars keep me busy. I enjoy. Uh, you can see the 55 over in the distance, and then right here is the 31, and then across in the other shop I've got the 68, the 96, and then I've got my brother-in-law's Jaguar over there too. So we've got enough to keep us busy. Yeah, yeah, lifestyle. and I see a lot in my lifestyle. I mean, Jim, who works for me, has been working for me for about 10 or 12 years. Uh, he sees a lot of my personality change. He was talking about how tense I always was and uptight, but I had a lot of trucks to deal with, a lot of labor issues with drivers, and I was on the go. I was a class, I was a type A personality, and now I'm laid back. Jim works for me. He comes in, he does what he's supposed to do, gets the job done. I don't fuss at him. We don't have any time constraints. Anything we got in the shop, we can do it at our leisure almost, because it's not nothing is pressing to be done that minute. Now I'll stop Jim every once in a while and say, "Hey, take a break. Come on down here and help me do this, that, and the other." And he'll come down. We'll fuel up a vehicle or change out an implement and that on something I need. I mean, I got a couple of big implements, and sometimes it's easier for me to get Jim to help me with them and that sort of stuff. And just whatever it takes, Jim's my guy, and it's great to have Jim out here, because I couldn't get what we get accomplished without him. That's for sure. And of course, it's one of those situations, and Jim and I have talked about it. Uh, I actually don't even have to run this shop. This is not a revenue making shop. This is a revenue consuming shop. So this is my expensive hobby, I guess you might say. I mean, I pay Jim's salary, and I pay the light bill and everything else that goes on up here. I could just rent out everything and just collect revenue like that, but what would that accomplish me? I mean, I wouldn't have as many fun things to do, and you got to enjoy life, and that's my thing. This gives me enjoyment, and so I'm about enjoying life and not just you know consuming. Or I mean, I could have just renters, and I could rent this shop out for a good price. I can rent the other great big shop I got for a real good price, and and do nothing here on the farm. But I mean, I wouldn't be happy. I mean, I'm going to do what I want to do while I'm still alive, and then after I'm gone, my children can do what they want to with it. They can make it an income producing property, or they can sell it off. It's strictly going to be up to them at that point. And either option, of course, once they sell it, it's gone. So either option will be their choice, or their choices. It'll be between my daughter and my son. So my daughter has lived with us for years, so she has a lot of my uh, ways about her. She will do like Dad's been doing, more so than my son. My son may have a different idea about things, because uh, he he's not as much. I don't think he likes property as much, and he would probably be one to want to sell off everything. I don't know. He may change on that. He may decide to go for the long shot and keep the property. Him and his sister. That'll be up to them. Yeah, yeah. I think women women definitely make a longer life, don't they, Taylor? That holds true for most families. I think the women outlive the men, and the average lifespan for men has increased over the years, but it's not increased to the pace to be up there where the women are. I don't think. I don't know. I'd have to Google that to find out. But generally speaking, the lifespan of a man is generally about, I think, about 4 or 5 years younger than a woman. I mean, you don't when you look around, you'll see 80 and 90-year-old women. You don't see as many 80 or 90-year-old men. I mean, you'll see a few, and there's guys that have some good longevity. But I want to live a good quality life, getting back to doing these different things. I mean, that's what I'm after. I want to have a quality life. I want to do things that Barbara and I want to do. I mean, Barbara and I went out on a date Friday night. We went and saw uh, I got it, Ryan White. Yeah, that's what the guy. He was a country music writer and singer. He had like an acoustic performance over at the Don Gibson Theater in Shelby, and we got an email. I'm on their email list, and because it wasn't a sellout, and I think they wanted to fill it up. The day of the concert, they reduced prices of the tickets in half, and I said, well, heck, that'd be nice to go. So we went to listen to him, and it was just a two-man show. He had a piano player, and then he had an acoustic guitar, uh, and he sat down and played his hits. He had like 6 or 7 number one hits in the country music in the '90s and early 2000s and everything. And he he's pretty good singer, a good songwriter, and it was entertaining and very close type situation. I mean, the Don Gibson Theater, it was a former movie theater in Shelby, and it's very comfortable and very laid back. I mean, you're really close up. The stage is close in to uh, the seats and everything. So you're almost like a living room. It's almost like he's sitting in your living room talking to you, uh, and it's very close and nice and everything. And he was sitting up there and just chatting with the crowd, and the crowd would even talk back to him and say something back to him, and he'd respond, and those sort of situations. And it was very cool. I liked it. I went to a couple over at the Don Gibson Theater, and they were like that. And when the performer can kind of talk to the crowd and they can respond back and forth, and I mean, it's pretty nice. Long as they don't get too rowdy, and every once in a while you'll get somebody that wants to take over the crowd, and you say, you sit down, hush. But generally speaking, it's pretty nice and that sort of stuff. Well, guys, I'm gonna head on back down to the house. I'm not gonna bore you with my life too much, I think. So I'm gonna head on back down to the house. I got few things to do for Mother's Day. Got to line that up for Barbara. So I hope everybody give me a thumbs up on your way out, and I'll talk to you later and see you out here. Maybe I'll put a few more videos out as I go. So y'all take care. I'll see you next week. If not before then, I may sneak a few videos in during the week too. So check for those if you do see them, and I'll catch y'all around later. Take care, guys. Give me the old thumbs up on the way out.